Oh, I'm sorry. I was scrolling through TikTok. My bad. I was a little distracted. Welcome to the video. Also, yes, I made that. That was me. Look. That might be the dumbest intro bit I've done so far. But anyways, let's get into it. Today's video topic is making me feel old. I feel like I'm aging more and more every single day. I feel like a millennial today, which sucks because I'm not even close to being a millennial. I'm like 21. I'm like the dead center of the Zoomers. And usually, I'm able to hold a common consensus with the Zoomers. My fellow Zoomies, you know, we can all be on the same page on most occasions. But today feels different. Today I feel like I'm on the beach that makes you old because this topic regards TikTok, and TikTok being sued by 5,000 parents, which I didn't even know 5,000 parents could come together to do anything, nonetheless sue a company for claiming to poison America's youth. And lo and behold, I actually agree with the parents. Not necessarily 100%. This is more like a 70, 30, 60, 40 thing. Because they have a few pretty valid points. And the more I looked into how TikTok operates in America versus how it operates in its home country of China, it is kind of crazy how it's being designed in a way to keep us hooked in. Which is ironic. There is actually people who have compared the TikTok in America to the opium TikTok, while comparing the TikTok in China to the salad TikTok. I guess that was the one thing they could think that was healthy, because Americans. But it's ironic because, like, China was literally known in the past to be the seller for opium and drugs to the world. And now they're selling digital drugs to children, which is real. I feel so old saying this, though. You understand what, you get what I'm saying now. I feel like an elderly man. Oh, and just a little disclaimer before we get deeper into this, so it doesn't sound like I'm just an old man shaking my cane on the sidelines. I use TikTok. I am a TikTok user. I was a TikTok content creator for a little while, but only a really, really tiny one. I dedicated myself to uploading like 6 or 7 months every single day, and it got me to, like, what, 14,000 followers on there. But the thing is, like, there was like 4 cohesive commenters. Everything else was like empty skulls watching my content, which is unfortunate because, like, I don't know, connecting with an audience is why I make this content, which is awesome for me now, because now that I'm on YouTube and have been uploading daily for, I think, 220 some days now, I'm able to have some of the greatest comment conversations I've been able to have as a content creator. So I very much appreciate you guys who are here. This also doubles as a thank you because my community has grown quite a lot in the past few days. Thank you for joining it. I appreciate you guys more than you know. But regardless of all of that, TikTok. What is going on? Who's attacking TikTok? And why did it even begin? Well, as you heard earlier, it was 5,000 parents. And I learned it via a Dexerto article, which is concerning, but I actually had it doubled by a New York Times article that talked about it as well, or New York Post, not Times. I doubt the New York Times would be talking about this. So the New York Post posted a post. That was a terrible that was a terrible sentence. But yeah, the New York Post posted a thing about a parent coming forward suing TikTok alongside 5,000 other parents because of something her daughter posted that she found on TikTok. And it is an image, and this is crazy, by the way. It was an image the daughter had posted that just says, this? Low-key gonna... How do you... First of all, why'd you scream the first 3 words and just put the last one? I assume you didn't know how to spell it and autocorrect changed it. But, like, what do you mean low-key? There's no low-key to that. And the mom, understandably, was shocked by all this. She was a nurse, and she was just like, why would my daughter ever say this? And she asked her daughter, like, why did you say this? Are you okay? Are you hurt? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm just chilling. I'm like, you can't just post something like that and then just be just chilling. That does not make sense. And apparently she had learned it from TikTok. And this article pushes the idea that TikTok pushes a very heavy culture of sexualized content, glorifying sewer slide content, and things like that. And it is pretty valid, I can say. I know that my TikTok feed is nothing like that, but everyone's TikTok feed is very different. It is an app that runs on such a heavy algorithm that is curated for every different human being. Like, my feed on TikTok is mostly 4 or 5 minute long skits, like comedy skits, or weird politics, because I'm into that sort of. So I understand that I haven't seen feeds like this, but I could see where it would be targeting younger audiences who are a lot more malleable. Their brain's still made of something you can just, like, press on in the skull, and your finger will just indent right there. If you press hard enough, too, it'll actually go all the way through, and that is their hard reset button. So if you ever have a kid around, just take the skull and just press. Don't do that, please. They will die. Don't do that, please. I also find it so strange that the mother and her daughter, I think, did a photo shoot for the New York Post, because throughout this article, there's just images of, like, the mom just, like, staring at the camera. What is this? Like, oh, my daughter posted something on TikTok. Quick, get the cameras. We gotta do a photo shoot about it. Okay, but regardless, this will take us to a second location. Our second app of the day, our second site, is Claims Hero. So Claims Hero is the site that people are going to be using to attack TikTok altogether, because TikTok has this weird rule, and this rule is one of the first strikes against TikTok that maybe be like, this app might be planning something devious, is that apparently if you have made a TikTok account and it has existed longer than a year, longer than 365 days, you lose the ability to sue the app. You lose the ability to claim damages, which is weird because, like, what? So if you're like 366 days into using the app, but you're heavily addicted and your family has left you because you won't stop scrolling through TikTok, which has never happened. That's a crazy hyperbole situation. But regardless, if you're a day past a year, they're like, oh, no, you can't sue us because the rules said so. Even though your life is on fire and it's been on fire for a few months. No, we said we don't want it. But anyways, back to Claims Hero, because what is this all about? So Claims Hero is this app that, as I said, is helping parents kind of conjourn together to make a lawsuit together. And what you do is you go down, you can hit take action now, or also take action now, or act now, or action please, and then fill out a form that could get you $10,000 if they win the lawsuit against TikTok. Because what's going to be happening is they're going to come together for a class action lawsuit, which, for those of you who aren't adverse in law speak, class action lawsuit is when a group of people come together to act through one person to sue someone. Pretty simple, right? I mean, that you can kind of understand the gist of it just by looking at the entire situation. But that's what Claims Hero will be doing. And I don't even know if that's possible, because I looked into TikTok's TOS and there was something about them just simply not allowing class action lawsuits. What is it with TikTok being like, you're not allowed to sue us? Why are you that scared of being sued if all you're planning is to just be a silly social media app? TikTok. Why is that? Is that because you might be a devious schemer, a scheming devious boy? Is that the problem? Because that's the vibe I'm picking up right now from all of this. Also, ignore the fact that I had these two checked off. I was clicking them just to see what would happen if I did it, but I didn't feel like filling out the entire thing because I'm not a parent with a kid, and I don't want to be just fake putting my own name in here, which is also a disclaimer for anyone watching. Don't go to this app and fill out like you're a parent, because that is not helpful at all. Because if you're trying to take down an app for being corrupt or bad or lying, you lying does not help the process, because then the side that's trying to do the good thing is doing a bad thing, which is completely, we're going in the wrong direction here, so don't do that, please. But I also wanted to dig into the whole concept of the spinach versus opium TikTok thing that I mentioned earlier in this video, because I feel like just blue-balling you with that, like, semi-information isn't helpful. I want to actually talk to you about what that is too, and why that is weird as well. A second strike against TikTok, if I may. And this is actually something that was brought up by a prominent voice in the technology ethics debate named Tristan Harris that called it spinach versus opium. And I found it interesting that apparently in China, TikTok is not TikTok. It's called Douyin, something like D-O-Y-I-N. It is a separate variant of TikTok that only allows 40 minutes of usage a day, as well as a 5-second break in between each video you scroll to, which is a massive difference from TikTok in the United States. But apparently what happened was Douyin existed before ByteDance, which are the people who own TikTok, bought Musical.ly. So to put that into perspective, make that more sense. Musical.ly existed, Douyin existed. They were two separate things. ByteDance owned Douyin and bought Musical.ly and turned it to TikTok. So now we have two variants of TikTok, one that has already existed and the new one that everyone is completely addicted to, that's being shipped out to the rest of the world with infinite access. You can use it anytime you want. You can stay up till 5 a.m. if you want, scrolling through TikTok, which I know some of you have probably done if you clicked on this video. But it's a situation like that. And I find it really interesting that they call it the opium version, because as I said earlier in this video, China is renowned for selling drugs to the world. So I find it so funny that they're now selling digital drugs. It's a joke I already made, but I'm saying it again because I just talked about all of it again, so it's fresh in your brains. But that's just about where this situation lies. There isn't really much else from this. The court case hasn't happened yet. They haven't sued them yet, but I feel like this is going to be a successful lawsuit. There's been a lot of lawsuits against TikTok in the past, like the one about the blackout challenge where kids were, like, asphyxiating themselves and some were, like, dying because they were, you know, asphyxiating themselves and couldn't breathe, which is a weird challenge, and why did the kid even try that, you idiot? I feel like it's more at the fault of the user for doing the challenge, but at the same time, this isn't about the fault of the user. This is a lawsuit talking about the fact that TikTok is protecting its own people while trying to poison the rest of the world, which... who knows? Maybe if the lawsuit's successful, they'll push Douyin out to the whole world. Maybe we can have younger kids using educational, good content, and then when they get old enough, they can jump into the goofy, silly, funny, ha content, instead of just immediately at the age of 8 getting on your phone and getting fed sludge through your eyes. Who knows? I don't know. I feel old saying this. I don't hate TikTok at the same time. I've already put the disclaimer in the video, but if the court case is as funny as the one where the United States sued TikTok just a little while ago, which I made a video on a long-ass time ago, maybe I'll cover it. Who knows? But for now, I'm probably going to wrap this video up here because I've talked for way too much and have just gone on a yapping spree. I'm making this video in the morning before work, so I don't know if this is a different style than what you guys are used to, but I hope it was fun. I hope this video was consumable, and I hope you will subscribe if you haven't, and like the video if you haven't yet, because I very much appreciate it. You can catch me on your homepage more often. I post videos every single day, but for now, I'm going to be hitting the road. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being absolutely amazing. I want to hear your takes on this as well, because I know my take is not the only take in the world. If you disagree with me, let me know. I would like to hear what you guys think, and if there's something I missed or a detail you think that I should include, maybe make like a community post about it or some shit, let me know. But thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. And as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and I'm gonna go get on TikTok.